Good morning, everybody, and happy Friday. This is Jason Butt with the UGAsports.com quick take here for the last episode until kickoff. We're just a little over 24 hours away. We've got a 3:30 kickoff on CBS. Georgia Auburn, you definitely don't want to miss it. Big rivalry game. And the fact, if you're a Georgia fan, you've enjoyed this one in recent years because Georgia has owned this rivalry for quite some time and will look to continue to do so, especially after that bulletin board material we went over just a day ago. Still quite surprised that Brandon Council said what he said. I think this Georgia team has a lot more motivation and a lot to prove, more so on a personal note. But to be able to do so and to be able to come out victorious, it's not the running game per se. It's not only the running game. I think Georgia, when it comes to the Auburn's traditional rushing attack, they should be fine. This is a group that ran for 101 yards against LSU. Not concerned. It's the quarterback, as it usually is in this day and age of football. Robbie Ashford. If Georgia is going to go in, take care of business, do what a lot of people think they will do, and do what the odds makers think, setting this line at 29.5 points. If Georgia's going to be able to do that, it's going to be by stopping, at least on defense, stopping Robbie Ashford, the freshman quarterback. Let's take a look at what Ashford has done in the past 3 weeks. He's now the starter. Didn't play all too much in the first two against Mercer and San Jose State, but against Penn State in a 41-12 loss, 10 of 19, 144 yards, a touchdown, 52.6 completion percentage, also threw an interception. In the thrilling and in the Colts Broncos like 17-14 overtime win against Missouri, Ashford went 12 of 18 for 127 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. And then against LSU last week in a 21-17 loss, they actually put up some numbers, put up some throws on top of that. 19 of 38, so that's only 50%. 337 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. And remember, this was a game where Auburn got up early on LSU. LSU rallied for the win. Now, here's some stats that would indicate that so far Kirby Smart and his team, they've talked up Robbie Ashford, his ability to run the ball, his ability to be a dual threat quarterback, and down the road he very well could be. This is a guy Georgia recruited. This is a guy Georgia hosted twice. Brian McClendon at Oregon was recruiting him. So this is a coveted player, but let's keep in mind he is a freshman, only been starting for 3 games now. But this is where Georgia and Georgia hasn't been as sound in this area to date. So this is where they can do what they. This is where they can end up making this a game that ends quickly. Is really what I'm trying to say. I got a little tongue tied there. Sacked 3 times against Penn State, sacked 3 times against Missouri, sacked twice against LSU. He hasn't put up a whole lot of rushing numbers. LSU 11 for 19, Missouri 15 for 46 and a touchdown, Penn State 11 for 29. So just the numbers. I mean, obviously you can watch some of the clips of the highlights of these games. Auburn's offensive line hasn't really shown much of a threat to run the ball, whether it's with the quarterback or the running backs. The sack opportunities should be there. Now, Georgia has not done a too great of a job in that department, unfortunately for the Bulldogs this year, and I think that has been a bit of a surprise. But at the same time, you look at what they lost, and from last year, they lost a ton of experience, ton of talent, but the talent is still there. But at the same time, Georgia's only averaging 1.2 sacks a game, 6 for the season. Conversely, through 5 games, Arkansas leads the SEC at 21, 4.2 a game. So, Auburn's up there, 11 sacks through 5 games. So Georgia very well below the mean in this area. So perhaps this is the game that Georgia's able to get after the quarterback and improve those numbers. And you would think this is a pretty good opportunity based on the sack opportunities that the previous 3 teams have presented. Penn State being one of those teams that is, one of the better groups, probably the best team that Auburn has faced thus far. LSU, getting after them twice, I think that's a good sign for Georgia as well. Robert Beal, he had 6.5 sacks a year ago. We're still waiting on him to kind of come out. Still waiting on Nolan Smith to have that kind of breakout statistical performance. Nolan Smith has played well for the most part. I don't want to say that these guys haven't played well. I'm just waiting on the breakout sack performance in terms of numbers, getting like a 2-sack game, 3-sack game. Just haven't seen that from Georgia so far this season. So to me, I look at it as you stop Robbie Ashford on the defensive side of the ball, you're golden. Auburn's going to have a hard time scoring points. As you've seen, this is not offensively. Auburn has to date, and things can happen. This is a rivalry game, but I think Georgia's in a good position when it comes to their defense. Jalen Carter, no Jalen Carter. They have some good players in the middle. I think Bear Alexander. This is an opportunity for him to shine. This is a chance for him to step up and really assert himself with more playing time for the rest of the season. With Jalen Carter's absence, Zion Logue, Nazir Stackhouse. I know those guys have a lot to prove after those comments from Brandon Council this week. So we'll see what happens. But if they're able to slow down Ashford, then to me, this should actually go along more like South Carolina, more like Oregon than like Kent State and Missouri. You definitely have those thoughts in the back of your mind. I'm not going to lie about Missouri. Just thinking, with Georgia, could Georgia do it again? I really think the council stuff pushes them over the edge. I don't want to belabor that point, but college football is a funny game like that. In the NFL, you can sometimes maybe get away with that. The game is so much more even. Kind of like last night, you make one dumb mistake or half of a dumb mistake, and then it can kill you. You can be the Broncos and winning the entire way, and then you make a really dumb move to not play for a field goal to go up 6 and run off and get to the 2-minute warning and go for it all and end up doing the worst possible scenario, and then you end up losing the game as a result by letting the Colts go down and get 3 and then win in overtime. So college football, not like that. It's a lot more surprises. It's a lot more, the motivation factor tends to, you can't give the bulletin board material the way, so some players might talk trash in the NFL. This is going to be a personal game. I am maintaining that. This is, this could be that game that awakes, you don't want to say the sleeping giant, but Georgia is kind of that team that has so much 5-star, 4-star talent that you don't want to make those costly pregame errors, and I think that this is one of those errors for the Auburn Tigers, and Georgia should be able to capitalize in a major way, and we'll see. You can go to UJSports.com and check out our score predictions. I know mine's in there. I've got a 45-9 prediction now. I'm going pretty big now. I think Georgia takes this one. I really, seriously, Wednesday I would have predicted a much closer score, and but coming in now, I have to go bigger just based on the how personal this game will be, and the fact that I do think it all starts with Robbie Ashford. And I think Georgia has what it takes to make sure that they stop him and don't let him get going, and are able to get out in front early. I think they'll hit some big plays and get those tight ends involved and never look back. So that's what I'm going with on this lovely Friday morning. Thanks everybody for waking up and joining me and taking the time. If you haven't, please like, subscribe, share, do all those good things. Join the UJSports.com dog vent if you haven't already. And just enjoy your day. We're almost there to kick off. Thanks so much for being a part of this quick take show this morning. You have been awesome, and I've been Jason Butt. Take care.